So what I wanted to react to is this. Chris, you said, I don't think I buy coercion being evil. Well, again, back to lightsabers, like get out the lightsaber. The lightsaber of what do you mean by that? Cutting through meat and bone, getting to the heart of things. What do you mean by that? What is meaning? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that is actually, that's getting at personless knowing. Isn't that weird? Because if the words in and of themselves had a true one-to-one correspondence, again, watch Ted S's conversation on the Arkansas Convivium. He talks about language, and if it's a one-to-one correspondence or of a many-to-many correspondence, it's a many-to-many. But what do you mean by that is asking about your personless knowing. That's what it's asking. That's what it is. So by coercion, I would mean manipulation. Like using indirect, I would say coercive and manipulative tactics to control language is feminine malevolence. I think to do it lovingly is feminine benevolence. You know, there's the positive feminine, there's negative feminine. There's positive masculine, there's negative masculine.
And you know, the right hemisphere has semantics and syntax, but not as sophisticated as the left. But it also has other things that the left doesn't. It has prosody, which is the meaning of the intonation of an utterance, which makes all the difference. I mean, for example, if I say yes, or I say yes, or yes, or, you know, I sometimes think of making a tape of like 500 ways of saying the word yes, but all mean different things. So intonation is really crucial for understanding an utterance. And it has, more importantly, I think, pragmatics, which is what does this really mean in terms of the experiential world? You know, so I usually give the example of somebody says, it's hot in here today, and they don't mean to supply me with meteorological information, which I already know about. What they mean is, would you open a window? And so the right hemisphere understands where the person is heading with what they're saying, whereas the left hemisphere is stuck with the literal. And that means also that the right hemisphere is much better at understanding metaphor. And metaphors are crucially important in language. Indeed, all language is metaphorical in its nature. I'm a follower of Lakoff and Johnson's belief that language is essentially metaphorical. And this is particularly true of science and philosophy. Their language is almost entirely based on metaphors, because new words have to be made, and we draw on experience and we come up with a word which is concrete in its meaning. So even the word abstract means comes from dragging something away from basically its context, and immaterial traces it back to matter, meaning wood, that is the basic the substance out of which everything comes. So these words are, even the most abstract words are in fact drawn from embodied experience. So language is narrowed down when we try to make things too explicit. It sounds as though it might be a rather simple thing, but listen to it, and not only is the song very good, but the whole point is watching Judy Collins' face while she's singing. It's absolutely a spiritual experience, because you can empathize with, you can see the soul of the woman singing. It's absolutely extraordinary. I don't think it'll ever happen at my funeral, because we'd have to have a big video screen and have this thing. I don't particularly like the idea. But it is something that in any case seems to me absolutely magical. And so there we are.
Okay, let's wrap this up with a quote from Carl Jung.